Doug here with Your Dream Body, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make another quick, easy to make meal that is incredibly healthy and inspired by our Mexican friends to the south. Now, I don't know about you, but I love Mexican food. Unfortunately, Mexican food is not known for being the healthiest. It is loaded with carbohydrates, it is loaded with fat. So I'm going to show you a Mexican-inspired meal that I concocted myself to help me lose pounds for competition. And it is so good, so healthy, loaded with nutrients. Let's get started. First ingredient we're going to use is, and I like the Jenny O brand, we're going to be using 85% lean ground turkey. Now, ground turkey is a little bit healthier than ground beef, has less fat, has fewer calories, so it's really good if you're trying to drop body weight. Again, I go with Jenny O, but as long as you're getting lean ground turkey, you're going to be good. I get to 85% lean, very healthy, loaded with protein. This is always going to be the main ingredient because you got to have your protein. So the second ingredient we're going to be using is a can of diced tomatoes. I prefer the unseasoned ones, and I get the Great Value brand. They're super cheap, super healthy for you. They're very low calorie. The no salt added is what I get, but if you don't have a problem with your sodium levels, you can feel free to get the regular ones. But second ingredient, a can of diced tomatoes. For our third ingredient, we're going to be using a pepper and onion blend, which again, I get mine right at Walmart. The Great Value brand is amazing. This is just a variety of peppers with some onions. You can find them right in the frozen food section. They're delicious. This is ingredient 3. Our fourth ingredient is the frozen zucchini blend, which again, I get right at Walmart, the Great Value brand. You find it right in the frozen foods. Zucchini blend, you can't go wrong with. Incredibly healthy. This is going to be ingredient number 4. And ingredient number 5, you got to have some corn. After all, this is a Mexican-inspired dish, right? So let's add some corn in there. I can't find regular corn anymore for some reason, so I've been using the super sweet corn. And I don't go too heavy on the corn because corn actually does have a little bit of sugar in it. But a little bit of corn is not bad for you. And let's be honest, most of the corn is going to pass right through you anyway, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's our next ingredient, a little bit of corn. So the final ingredient we're going to be adding to the pot is, ta-da, taco seasoning. I go with the mild taco seasoning because I'm very white and I don't like my food that spicy, but this is what is going to give the dish that Mexican kick. So good, and it's very low calorie. I get the reduced sodium, but if sodium's not a problem for you, go right ahead and get the regular. We're going to add this to the pan along with the rest of the ingredients. We're going to let it cook. Let's see what it looks like. So I like to add the ground turkey first. And you know, it's really how much ground turkey you use is based on your fitness goals and if you're weight training. If you're weight training like I do, you're going to need a little bit more protein, so I go a little bit heavier on the ground turkey. Plus, meat is very filling, so it's going to fill you up a little bit more if you have a little bit more protein in there. So personally, I go a little bit heavier on the protein. I put in quite a bit of ground turkey. But if you're a smaller person who's really not weight training as hard as, say, like a bodybuilder, you might not need as much ground turkey, but I go a little bit heavier on mine. And I always put the ground turkey in first. Now we're going to add the tomatoes, which is very simple. Check this out. Pop the top, pop the top. Woo, I love these pop tops. No more can opener for this guy. We're going to dump these tomatoes in. Yeah, buddy. Now that we got the tomatoes in there, we're going to add a little bit of corn. And as I said, I don't go super heavy on the corn because corn is actually one of the more calorically dense vegetables. We're looking at 80 calories for 2/3 of a cup. So I don't go too heavy on it. Right about there is good. Next, we're going to add our zucchini blend. And again, personal preference, however much you want. I am pretty hungry, so we're going to put in a decent amount. That's good. And then, of course, we have to have our pepper and onion blend. You got to have that. And I go heavy on this because I love my pepper and onion blend. Woo! And this is going to give it a little bit more of that Spanish twist to it. There we go. Ta-da! Now, with all of these quick, healthy meals, you can replace the frozen vegetables with fresh vegetables. That's fine. Fresh vegetables, probably a little bit better for you, a little bit healthier for you anyway. But this is just when I'm in a hurry, I use frozen vegetables. But if you have free time, by all means, get fresh vegetables and chop them up. But in a pinch, frozen works well. For me, I'm a bachelor and I like my meals to be quick and easy. So frozen vegetables is typically what I go with. So the final thing we're going to be adding is our reduced sodium taco seasoning. And again, if sodium's not a problem for you, you can use regular taco seasoning. I get the Great Value brand. You can find it right at Walmart and it is super cheap. I think it's like 45 cents per packet, so I tend to stock up on them. And I use about half a packet per pot that I'm making. Again, it's personal preference. If you want to use the whole thing, you can. It's only 15 calories per serving, and there are 6 servings per container. So about half of this is about 45 calories, I think. So I dump in about half. As I said, I'm really sensitive to the taco seasoning anyway, which is why I get mild. And about half a packet is good for me. And with that in there, we just let it cook. That simple. So this is what it's going to look like in the pot, but we're going to want to stir it up. Not too hard. Get everything all nice and blended together. Just like this. Ooh, smells good already, and it's not even cooking. So we have our healthy Mexican-inspired meal on the stove right now. It's all mixed up, ready to go. I set the burner on high, and we're just going to let it cook for about 10 minutes. Then we'll come back, check on it. So we're checking in on our Mexican-inspired, low-carbohydrate, low-fat meal. Good to stir it up every now and then so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot. This is smelling amazing, and it is just about done. I like to let all of the water boil down, and once that's boiled down, we're almost good to go. Our Mexican-inspired healthy meal is just finishing up on the stove, and I like to have mine on a bed of fresh spinach. So what I do is I just open this up. You can get this any supermarket, you're going to find fresh spinach. I get it right in the bag. And I just put this in the bottom of the bowl, and then I put the meal on top of that. So check this out. So as you can see, I put a little spinach in the bottom of the bowl, and we're going to serve our meal on a bed of spinach. So let's add the actual meal. There we go. Gotta have those leafy greens. Yum, looking good, right? But it's missing something. What is it missing? Well, I'm going to add 2 more things to it, and then it'll be done. Now, to give this more of a Spanish-style feel, because that's what we're going for, I like to top mine with some black olives. Black olives I find delicious, and they're low in calories, so I had a few black olives to the top of mine. Really lends to that Spanish feel. And you can't have a Mexican-inspired meal without sour cream, right? Well, here's the thing. We're going to substitute the sour cream with, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing me talk about this, the 0% fat, unflavored Greek yogurt, which tastes just like sour cream, but unlike sour cream, it is loaded with protein, has no fat, very few carbohydrates, because actual sour cream, while delicious, not really all that healthy for you. It doesn't really have much in the way of nutritional value. Whereas this stuff is incredibly healthy, very nutritious. It's got the live cultures from the yogurt that'll help your gut microbiome. So we're going to top our meal with this as well, and then it's done. So there we have it. Very easy to make, only a few ingredients. Doesn't it look beautiful? And believe me, it tastes just as good as it looks. This is delicious, and let's go over the health benefits of this real quick. This is a ton of protein, but it's very low fat, very low carbohydrate. Unlike authentic Mexican food, which, you know, because of the tortilla and all the cheese, that's very high fat, very high carbohydrate. Unlike that, we're getting no carbohydrates here, very few I should say, and almost no fat. So you really can't go wrong with this. If you're trying to lose weight, this is one hell of a way to do it. It is incredibly healthy. It is incredibly delicious. Please give this a try if you're trying to shed a few pounds, and let me know what you think in the comments section. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. That's good. Wow. Oh my God. Yeah, that's it. Get out of here! I don't think so. Sorry, Pips. It's not for kitty cats.